Well, that Elimination Chamber was certainly not what I expected. But was it good? And how did it build to WrestleMania? Today, I'll be going over every single one of the matches at Elimination Chamber, and I'll be telling you guys what I thought of the match and how many stars I would give it if I were rating. So let's start off with the opener, the Women's Elimination Chamber. This match was alright, but it started off hot. I was going to grab some food before the match started, and when I get down, I see Jay Cargill coming out, and Naomi and Liv Morgan are in the ring, and I'm like, please go for Naomi. Please go for Naomi. She starts walking towards Liv. She does a little switch to Naomi, and I was so excited, bro. I was so happy that I had predicted that she would go for Naomi and not Bianca Belair because Naomi wanted those tag titles or whatever they give the reason for. But I'm assuming because Naomi wanted those tag titles, and she took out Jade so she could have them instead of her. And I was so hyped. I was yelling at my brother. It was crazy good. The rest of the match, I'm not going to lie, this was a decent chamber. There were a couple clunky spots that I didn't really like that whole Roxanne Perez trying to hit the Pop Rocks thing where they kept just like, and it looked like she had time and she was just waiting for them to push it off. But overall, pretty good chamber. However, I don't know who wants to see either Bianca versus Rhea or Bianca versus EU. I feel like there's no story behind either one of those matches, and I feel like it would have been way better to have a returning Alexa Bliss who clearly had the fans behind her to win the chamber, or throw some curveball in like Roxanne Perez. But Bianca is too vanilla in a way. It's such a safe pick that nobody really cares. If you guys do care, then maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like it's too safe of a pick, and they could have picked anybody else in that chamber, and it would have been a little bit better because there was a little bit of story. Even Liv Morgan. Nobody wants to see that, but at least her and Rhea have a story, and I would want to see Io versus Liv more than I want to see Bianca versus Io. So I don't know what they were thinking when they chose Bianca as the chamber winner, but if they can build a story behind it, somehow turn one of them heel, maybe it'll be good. I don't know. So, this chamber was decent. It had a couple cool spots in it, but overall, I think it was like square middle of the pack. Really hot start, brought down by a really confusing finish. So, I give it 3 out of 5 stars. I wouldn't watch it again, but it was a good product when I saw it. Let's head on to the next match. Probably the least anticipated match on the card that I didn't even realize it was on the card until I searched it up to record the last video. Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Now, this felt like a very Canada match. They were like, well, we're in Canada and they love Trish Stratus, so we gotta find some way to put her in, you know what I'm saying? And this is how they did it. The ending of the match, Tiffany Stratton pins Nia Jax. Nobody really cares. They didn't add anything to the story they were going off of, except for maybe Nia and Tiffany are done now, which would be a weird way to finish it. And, Trish does not look like the Trish Stratus we used to know. She was very, very clunky. I didn't like when she tried to hit the Hurricane Rana on Candice LeRae, or the Stratosphere on Candice LeRae, and oh my god, Nia Jax. I don't know how this lady won Queen of the Ring and then became WWE Women's Champion, because she is so bad in the ring. I don't know what they were thinking when they decided that Nia Jax was supposed to be the face of the company for a while, because she is so clunky. And that Stratusfaction from the top rope, or that Bulldog, looked so bad. It looked like Nia just stood up and then fell. So this match was really, really clunky, and it added nothing to the Tiffany versus Charlotte storyline that's happening at WrestleMania. And I feel like it ended the Nia Jax versus Tiffany Stratton storyline, which is actually okay, way too early. I'm gonna give this match, honestly, 1 out of 5 stars. This match was too clunky. there was not enough reasoning behind it, and the finish didn't add anything to the WWE storyline. So 1 out of 5 stars. There was no need for this match on the card. This should have been a SmackDown blow-off. On to the next match. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in an unsanctioned match. Now, not gonna lie, I feel like the hype for this match was a little too high because this match was good, but I feel like it was still below expectation. You know what I'm saying? This match, was so hyped up and so, the fans were so ready for it that when it came to the fact that, it was pretty good, but it wasn't at that level that we know Sami and Kevin can get to, we were all left very, very disappointed. And, man, I feel like in this match, they didn't have a lot of storytelling in the match. Before the match, sure, there was a lot of storytelling, but in the match, it kind of looked like they were just getting through spots. They would beat each other up in the ring, and then they kind of went outside to the tables, throwing a couple punches, and then they started beating each other up over there, and Kevin got put through the tables, and they walked back, and they had the hockey stick for a little bit, they had the double table spot, they had the power bomb, then they had the barbed wire steel chair, and then they had the power bombs to end it. So this match definitely did not exceed expectations, and it didn't look like they genuinely hated each other. It looked like they were just going around doing spots. So for that reason, this match kind of underwhelmed me, and I was really disappointed when they ended it super quickly with just the power bombs, although obviously that would be a good way to end it. The saving grace of this match was Randy Orton coming back. When Randy Orton came back, everybody went nuts. He had it perfectly, beating up KO, hitting him with the RKO, and then going crazy on security. So I think Randy Orton, even though he wasn't in the match, adds a star to this match because they're going to build up that match towards WrestleMania for him, Kevin, and huge pop in the return. I was really hyped about it too. So for that, I'm going to give this match 3 out of 5 stars. If this match had lower expectations, it'd probably get a 4 stars. But because expectations were so high for Sami and Kevin, and they kind of failed to meet that, and they failed to deliver that true hatred that they said they had, we're going to dock it another one. 3 out of 5 stars. Now for the main event match. It was a lot of match, but we still had that whole Rock segment. So this match was very, very predictable. And because the predictable guy won, I'm going to dock it a star. I mean, when everybody goes in knowing John Cena wins, and John Cena wins, the match is obviously not going to be as good as if they didn't know who was going to win. Overall, I think this match was pretty good. They utilized their talents well, and clearly they're still building to the Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest at WrestleMania because, they had the roll-up and everything. So obviously that's going to happen, although there's a question of whether LA Knight might be in it as well. Possible, maybe. CM Punk played a nice role in this. That's the guy that everybody hated. And, everybody was selling out to stop him while he was trying to get to the main event of WrestleMania. So, in that sense, I think the match was good. I did not like that CM Punk kicked out 2 attitude adjustments and a stomp and the pedigree. I feel like they just hurt John Cena's credibility going into WrestleMania because he couldn't put away CM Punk with 2 of his finishers. But overall, the match was very good. We had a couple cool spots, like Logan Paul jumping off the cage, and he actually hit that frog splash quite well for how high he was. And I really liked how they kept CM Punk strong when he got screwed with the stomp and then passed out in the STF. So I'm going to give this match 4 out of 5 stars. It was a really great match, but it was too predictable. And for that reason, I'm going to dock it up. Now, onto this last segment for the show with The Rock, Cody Rhodes, Travis Scott for some reason, and John Cena. Now, this segment was great. I don't really understand the whole, selling your soul part of it, but, I mean, It went nuts when Cody Rhodes says, "Go F yourself." Oh man, I was shocked. I watched this the morning after because I was too tired to watch it during the actual event. And I watched the morning after, and I had like mouth open. There's no way he just said that on like air, live on TV. He said, "Go F yourself." So that was nuts, and I feel like nobody expected John Cena to be the one taking the heel turn. In my predictions video, I said it was possible that Cody Rhodes takes the heel turn. I said it was possible that Paul Heyman aligned himself with The Rock and called in his favor for CM Punk to have him turn heel to insert himself into that match with John Cena. But I don't think anybody saw John Cena turning heel. It was crazy. I feel like they did it perfectly where it went on just a little too long to make it super uncomfortable. Just watching Cody Rhodes get whipped and smacked in the head with the belt. The one thing that I say they didn't do right with this segment was Travis Scott. He was just there drinking something, and then he had no idea what he was doing the whole time. There was this point where he was pushing Cody up to do the belt spot, and then John Cena had to force Cody back down because Travis Scott wasn't supposed to be doing that. And he looked like a toddler that had just like lost his mom in the supermarket and was hanging out with some random old guy until their mom came back. So poor Travis Scott being there and doing absolutely nothing to help it. I'm going to dock this a point. Still a great segment. And I feel like this was the most unpredictable part of the entire night. So I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 stars as well. It was a great segment, but Travis Scott was just there and it didn't help anything at all. So, Elimination Chamber. Pretty predictable. I don't feel like they made the right decisions. Had some cool spots. Also had some underwhelming spots. The Elimination Chambers were really good. I feel like the mid-card was severely underwhelming. And for that reason, I'm going to give Elimination Chamber 3 stars. It wasn't great, but it's pretty decent. And that spot at the end, really great to help them. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me what you think about Elimination Chamber in the comments and what they're going to do for WrestleMania. See you later. Bye-bye.